What if I told you Rome wasn't always sunny and warm? Imagine frozen rivers, snowy streets, and Romans finding clever tricks for comfort. Long before modern heating was even invented, we usually picture Rome in endless sunshine. Golden temples, busy markets, soldiers marching under clear skies. But winter told a very different story. The Tiber River sometimes froze solid. Snow covered the hills around the city. Icy winds swept through crowded streets. And in the far provinces, Britain, Gaul, Germania, winters were even harsher. Longer nights, freezing rain, and snowstorms unknown in the Mediterranean. So how did the Romans manage without heaters, jackets, or insulated homes? The answer is fascinating. The Romans were brilliant engineers. They didn't just light a fire in one corner. They invented something ahead of its time, the hypocaust. A furnace burned below the house. Hot air traveled under the floors, through hollow walls. Imagine stepping on warm tiles in the middle of winter. Wealthy Romans enjoyed this comfort daily, but ordinary families relied on braziers and clay stoves. Everyone gathered in one room, sharing warmth and stories. Roman fashion wasn't just togas and sunshine. In winter, thick wool cloaks wrapped around shoulders. Soldiers in northern provinces wore cloaks, tunics, and even trousers. Yes, trousers. Romans once mocked them as barbarian, but in snow and freezing rain, trousers were survival. Women wore layers of wool tunics and shawls. Furs lined the garments of the wealthy. Winter in Rome had its own fashion code. Crowded Roman cities created natural warmth. Homes pressed close together shared their heat. Taverns and bakeries glowed with fire. And then there were the baths. Bathhouses were the heart of winter life. Warm air, steaming pools, marble halls filled with laughter. Rich or poor, many Romans could enter. The bathhouse was comfort, conversation, and community, all rolled into one. Romans also ate for warmth. Thick porridge made from wheat and barley, stews of beans, peas, and lentils, salted fish and dried fruits stored for months, cured meats hanging in kitchens, and for the wealthy spices, honey, imported delicacies, warm drinks too, honey wine called mulsum, sometimes mixed with herbs, for extra comfort. But winter wasn't only struggle, it was celebration too. Every December came Saturnalia, a festival of joy, feasting, and gift-giving. For 1 week, roles were reversed. Masters served their slaves, people wore colorful clothes, and the streets filled with laughter and cheer, just like today's winter holidays. Saturnalia brought light to the darkest days. Winter slowed farming, but work never stopped. Farmers repaired tools. They planned for spring planting. Livestock stayed in shelters, providing milk and warmth. In some villas, small greenhouses appeared. Sheets of transparent stone trapped sunlight for citrus plants. It was innovation centuries before modern greenhouses. Travel was tougher, but it continued. Snow blocked mountain passes. Roads turned icy and dangerous. Wealthy travelers used closed carriages, lined with blankets, sometimes with a small brazier. Ordinary people rested at roadside inns, and soldiers, they built winter camps. With strong walls, fires, and discipline, Roman legions marched on, no matter the season. Romans had clever tricks for daily warmth. Wool curtains over doors kept out drafts. Carpets and animal skins insulated floors. South-facing windows captured the sun. North-facing walls had fewer openings to block cold winds. Simple, but effective. But beyond all these details, what really stands out is the Roman mindset. They treated winter as part of life's rhythm. Work balanced with rest, hardship balanced with festivals. Writers like Ovid and Seneca wrote about winter. They saw it as a reminder. that every cold season eventually gives way to spring. So let's change how we picture Rome, not just endless sunshine and marble glowing in the heat, but also frosty mornings, snow falling on tiled roofs, and families gathered around a glowing brazier. The Romans taught us something timeless, that with creativity and community, even the coldest winters can be faced with warmth.